Good evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here with another Hearthstone arena. This is actually a really unfortunate selection because I've played all these classes a lot. The classes I've played with the least are Druid, Hunter, Paladin, and Mage, I think. But those classes are nowhere to be found here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab Priest just because it has been the longest since there was a Priest video on my channel, but apologies for the bad selection. I know there's a lot of Priest videos overall. Just wasn't a good choice there. Okay, these are all not that great cards. Lightwall can be, of course, annoying to deal with, and in particular, taking it as your first pick means that you can then maybe take Inner Fire, but I'd just rather grab Shadow Madness. It's sometimes 2 for 1. In the worst case, it's like a removal spell for 4 mana, so we'll take it. I'll happily grab a Northshire Cleric. Here I'm just going to take the best card, which is the Razorfed Hunter. And this is a really terrible pack. Oh boy. So, Elven Archer is bad, and it's especially bad for Priest because you can't really... There's no synergy. It's not like Priests have, enraged creatures or a hero ability that deals damage. Mind Blast, I've thought about playing with the card just so that, you can get some burn potential, but I'd rather take Lord of the Arena here. It's kind of annoying because this is a bad 6-drop, but it does have Taunt, and if my draft does suck, it's nice to have something big in there. Okay, these are pretty bad cards. I'm going to take a Mind Vision then. That's a pretty safe pick. Now, Power Word Shield I don't think is as good as some people think it is. What has value for it to me here is the fact that it helps protect Northshire Cleric against an opponent playing a 3-2. Currently, my Northshire Cleric has 0 protection if I drop it on turn 1 and my opponent plays a 3-2 in response. So I could take it to protect Northshire Clerics. The Crocolisk is tempting because I need 2 drops right now. I currently have none, but it's still early in the draft, and I could also take a Dark Iron Dwarf, which is probably just the best card here. Let's just take the best card, but that was a difficult pick. Okay, here we have an easy pick. We're going to get a 2-drop. And here, this is a bad 5-drop. If this were a good 5-drop, I would take it. As it is, we'll overload on 6-drops a little bit here. Oh my god. Well, okay, I guess we're taking Stormwind Champion. I really don't want to go for Inner Fire combos or anything, but now we have a very high curve already. And I could pretty much lay off 6 and 7-drops for the rest of the game. Rest of the draft. Okay, Knife Juggler is the only playable card there. Let's just take that. And we get an Epic now. Oh man, Cabal Shadow Priest is one of those cards where my opponents always steal my Gorobashi Berserker with it, whereas I never have anything good to take. So I don't like taking it here because that commits me to having 4, 6, and 7-drops a third of the way through the draft. Mind Games is random and usually bad. We'll take Shadowform here. If I weren't so heavy on 6-drops, like if I had taken the Elven Archer over the Lord of the Arena, then I'd be grabbing the Cabal Shadow Priest here. I think overall, it's a better card than Shadowform. Oh my gosh, well we're getting another 6-mana thing. So Holy Fire gives you some healing and it can go directly to the face. Obviously, of course, it has an extra point of damage, but the Argent Commander, I think, as a minion dealing almost as much damage is the better card overall. Oh my god, well... I could take a Mind Control here for some super endgame, but this is just starting out to be so top-heavy. Leper Gnome is not super great, especially if this deck is as slow as I think it's going to be. Well... I'm going to take a Leper Gnome. I don't want to play with Mind Control here. Alright, here we go. Holy Nova is a very important card. Got to grab that if you can. How much removal do I need? Currently, the only removal I have is Shadowform and Holy Nova. Okay, I am lacking for removal. Although the Lightspawn is a great 4-mana minion, I need to be able to kill things. Okay, do I take this Tiger? Or the Acolyte? Let's grab the Acolyte. If we're going to play for a top-heavy deck, we're going to need some card drawing here. Okay, I could take the Dark Iron Dwarf number 2, or the Healer. Well, the Healer could be really good with Northshire Cleric. It's a little bit of a bigger body, so I'm going to take the Healer, although that's a tough call there. Oh my lord. So much endgame. Okay, we can't really take any more stuff. We're going to take the Farser, even though he's bad. And I could take this for some card draw. I have Holy Smite and Mind Vision, which both trigger off it pretty nicely. Not much else, though, as far as spells go. Demolisher is just not that great. This is awkward. It's like a 3-mana minion. I don't want those. I want 2 manas, and it's not a good one. I guess I'll take the Auctioneer and just kind of grumble about it. Kidoke. Well... Oh, man. These are all reasonable choices. The Mana Wraith slows the game down, which would probably help me. The Mana Addict... Well, the Mana Addict's not that great. I don't have that many spells. I'll take a Pyromancer. It's got the best stats, And if I do get it out with the Acolyte of Pain, we can get some combos going. Oh my lord, what is up with this draft? So this is just terrible. Am I really taking Divine Spirit here? I'm going to take Divine Spirit. I just can't stomach a 3/3 taunt for 4 mana, and this is awful. I don't want any more 5-drops. So yeah, we're taking Divine Spirit. That's just life. Okay, Shadow Word Pain. Finally get a Shadow Word. That's good. The Assassin... I can't justify the Assassin when I have all these expensive cards. Holy Fire is expensive. I guess we're taking Mass Dispel here, but I'm not happy with what's happening. I'm really not happy. Take the Grunt. I think the Yeti overall is a little bit better than the Lightspawn. Lightspawn does go well with the Temple Enforcer and with Divine Spirit, but oh man, I don't want to go for these combos. Let's just take the creature whose stats don't change. Well, I guess we're taking a Lightspawn. Oh man. Holy Nova number 2. This deck's so expensive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the cards are 5 mana or more already. Holy Nova, sometimes though, it is nice to have 2 of those. Okay, I'm going to take a Power Word Shield for some more card draw, spells to trigger off the Pyromancer and the Gadgetzan Auctioneer. There's enough synergy here with the shield that I hope it compensates for the lack of Holy Nova. And we got another Epic. Wow, I get to have the rare double Shadowform if I want it. Shadowform would deal 3 damage then. I mean, you're spending 2 cards for that. I think it's fair. Mind Games isn't good. I could grab Doomsayer. Now, Doomsayer's been blowing me out lately, but I maintain it's not a good card. It's just so risky. If your opponent has a way of killing it, you're down a card and they get to continue developing their board. Alright, well, we're going to take another Shadowform and see how that goes. Now, normally I'd take a Boulder Fist Ogre here without hesitation, but I've got enough 6-drops. We'll take a Grizzly here for some early game drops and protection, and the only playable card here is the Pine-Sized. I just think that draft was terrible. I don't know about you. Maybe I went on tilt or something and I just didn't give this draft enough credit. But man, I think that was complete garbage. It's got a lot of endgame stuff, but it's poor with removal. The card quality is poor in places. We didn't get very good luck with epics, I don't think. Yeah, it just doesn't seem that great. We'll see though. Priest used to be a really consistent class for me, but my last 3 runs were 4-4-5, so it's not really the king of my average or of consistency anymore. Well, it actually still is my most consistent class, but it's trailing off, so I don't know. We'll see if this can bring it back, but I'm not feeling too much promise. Okay, we'll send back the Shadowform. There's 2 of them. I definitely don't want both of them early on. Really, I'm of the opinion you don't want any Shadowform at all early on. And here, much as I hate to do it, I'm probably going to coin out the Berserker. Even though that does not leave me with a follow-up play on turn 2, it would enable me to kill my opponent's recruit, should he make one. And in fact, I have seen Paladins just not make a recruit in response to the Berserker. Of course, he might have a real minion, then I'll have to trade with it, and that would be kind of sad. But at least I got Mind Vision, so I can yoink one of his cards. Blessing of Wisdom on this is an interesting choice. So, I don't think I'm actually going to attack with it because I don't want to give him a card. And if I give him a card, basically, the Blessing of Wisdom itself is not stellar if I attack right now. It's 1 mana for 1 card. It was just a cycle. But if you look at it this way, like, from my standpoint, I can deal 2 damage and give him a card. Is that worth it? No. So, although it feels like you're kind of losing, you have to swallow your pride sometimes and make the correct decisions. So I'm going to Mind Vision. Get a Fairy Dragon. Interesting. He actually chose to put a Blessing of Wisdom on this rather than play Fairy Dragon and trade it off. I actually don't agree with that at all. I think he should have just played his minion and traded these and saved Blessing of Wisdom for later. I mean, Blessing of Wisdom can be used as an emergency solution to one of your opponent's minions, but it's much better to put it on your own minion and just draw cards, I think. Alright, well, he's got his own Berserker here, which is kind of annoying. Luckily, Shadow Word Pain is a really good card. I could also do Acolyte of Pain and run in the Berserker. Let me think about that. Acolyte of Pain to threaten to run into the Berserker and draw 2 cards. Is that worth it? The bad things can happen here. Bad things can happen. Okay, we're just going to keep it simple, keep it safe. I'm going to Shadow Word Pain and just pass the turn again. I don't want to give him a card for 2 damage. So I will attack with this, like, to kill something, but I'm not going to just give him cards. So overall, I'd say I'm pretty happy with how this is going, because I have a lot of endgame in this deck, so it feels fine to me to have the game go slowly. I mean, I could have had more endgame in this deck if I had, like, taken the mind controls, or one of the mind controls anyway. But this seems fine. Okay, so now I killed off his recruit. I think that was worth giving him a card for. He can, of course, now kill my Berserker with the Fairy Dragon, which is what I expect he'll do unless he has a Dark Iron Dwarf and lets the Fairy Dragon trade into my Yeti. The thing about this is it stops him from playing, like, you know, Senjin or a Chillwind Yeti if he doesn't kill the Berserker. What's cool is I could actually kill a Fen Creeper right now, which is awesome. If he plays a Fen Creeper here, I'd be delighted, because then I can play Dark Iron Dwarf, buff the Yeti, kill the Fen Creeper, and then the Fairy Dragon would probably end up killing the Berserker in that case. What I don't want is for him to play Argent Protector, put a Divine Shield on this thing, and then kill it. He's got a Consecration, which is an interesting choice. It takes up his whole turn, lets him clear out both my... Oh, he's got a Hand of Protection. He's got a Humility. Oh, I see. Well, that is a way of doing it, I suppose. That is a way of doing it. So he got to clear my board and also keep his minion alive. So that was actually a good play on his part. He did not go down cards. But if he hadn't had the Humility there, the Consecration would have been a bad play. Alright, so the Acolyte will get to kill off the Fairy Dragon, hopefully. Oh, that's right, he can't put Hand of Protection on this, because this cannot be targeted by spells. Right. Alright, so Goldshire Footman here will die to my Fairy Dragon. I can only assume. I can only assume he's going to use this Fairy Dragon to kill my Acolyte, otherwise the Acolyte becomes a card battery. Yep. Holy Nova, that could be good later on. Good times. And actually, Lord of the Arena is not a good card, but it's good here. He passes. He really didn't do anything. He played a Goldshire Footman and made a Recruit on turn 6. That's kind of stellar. So Lord of the Arena is great because it stops the Recruit from killing off the Fairy Dragon. Sorry, I shouldn't say that unequivocally. It's not a great card in general. It's just great here. But that's the thing about Taunt. Even a bad Taunt card will often be good because Taunt is a pretty useful ability. I wonder, like, how much the world is a different place because Trump said Taunt's overrated and then made everyone stop taking it. Wow, he is really committed to not letting me keep my minions on the board. He's like playing as if I'm a paladin or something. So, alright, he's got all this stuff out here. I'm just tempted to Holy Nova, honestly. Problem is, then I can't do anything with my mana because I'd be a mana short of playing that Hunter. I could instead play the Hunter and the Dark Iron Dwarf, let him keep minions, but then, yeah, I think that's worth it. We're just gonna go ahead. Yeah. I don't like using the Dwarf like this, but I feel like it's worth it. So I've got some good board presence. He does have these recruits, but they'll die to a Holy Nova. And hopefully not do much else. I mean, that's a slim hope against a Paladin, that he won't mess with your creatures using his own minions. But still, if he doesn't have good stuff, I should be alright here. War Golem is actually kind of difficult for me to deal with. I never saw Shadow Word Death in my draft. It's annoying. Well, that's annoying. Alright, well, I hate doing this, but I'm going to have to do this very ugly play, which is to trade my Divine Shield and my Dark Iron Dwarf for that War Golem and heal up. Oh, that was a mistake. I should have healed my minion. I 100% should have healed my minion there. Save it from Consecration. That was a little bit of a careless move. But in any case, if I end up playing Holy Nova, I'll heal it anyway. He's going to Hammer of Wrath, so it doesn't matter about the healing. Oh, so actually the Hammer of Wrath's going there, never mind. So we get some card advantage off of that, which is irritating. Oh boy. Rage of Worgen is also very irritating. So I could Shadow Madness this Worgen, but it's not actually going to work. Jeez. I could play the Auctioneer, Shadow Madness, steal the Worgen, kill the Recruit, hit him for 4. Then he gets back a 4/2 Wintry. Well, that seems silly. I could Shadow Madness the Worgen, kill the Recruit, hit for 4, play the Darkscale Healer so that it'll heal the Worgen before the Worgen goes back to him, but that's dumb. I could Shadow Madness the Recruit, and then run the Recruit and the Hunter into the Worgen. I could Holy Nova. I could play the Pyromancer and a Holy Nova, which will kill the Worgen off thanks to the Pyromancer. I could Pyromancer, Shadow Madness, kill the Recruit, trigger Wind Fury, swing for 8. Nope. Then it comes back Wind Fury. Oh my gosh! I think the best move here is the Auctioneer and Shadow Madness, lamest Shadow Madness of all time. So the problem is that he hasn't played any True Silver Champions yet, and this is gonna die to True Silver Champion almost certainly. And then I'm actually not in very good shape at all. So somehow he's just kept on having just enough weird card combinations, like Consecration, Humility, to keep his board, my board clear. Oh, he doesn't have True Silver Champion, or else he would have played this after the weapon. Oh, that's good news. That is good news. Alright, now it's important here to note the order of the way things work. If I play the Wild Pyromancer and then Holy Nova, the Holy Nova triggers first and the Pyromancer. That's important because it means that this thing only ends up taking 1 net damage. But I'm probably going to play Holy Nova here anyway because it draws me a card. I can play the Knife Juggler and Wild Pyromancer. The problem with that is that if the Knife Fling does not hit a good target, let's say it hits his face, then the Pyromancer will trigger when I play Holy Nova, and this guy will get damage down to 3, which I don't really like. Again, the Holy Nova would happen first, and then he'd go down to 3 health. Okay, so that sort of sucks. I guess what I'm going to do then is just... This is actually kind of weird, but I'm just going to play Holy Nova. Just blankly. Draw a card. Then I will kill this thing. Like so. And then I will play either Darkscale Healer or Knife Juggler Pyromancer. Let's go ahead and do the healer. So my guy will now survive a Consecration, but he will die to a Hammer of Wrath. Luckily, though, Hammer of Wrath would get him a card, but he would still be cards down afterwards, because I'm 6 cards to his 3. So I've managed to really do a pretty good job, thanks to the Auctioneer mainly, of hanging in there. And he passes the turn, essentially. I mean, that's pretty much passing the turn right here. Alright, well that's cool. So now I can either play Lightspawn and Temple Enforcer to get a 8/8 and a 6/6, or I can play the Knife Juggler and some other minions to try to shoot these things down. Let's do it that way, even though it seems really tempting to get the 8/8, 6/6 and whatever. I feel like it's worth it to kill off some of this stuff for free. And I'll play Pyromancer here rather than the Farseer, because I want to be able to actually heal off my Auctioneer. Alright, this is nice. Alright, well this is looking good. So he pretty much needs a quality Consecration to even stay in the game. Otherwise he loses, for sure. Like, I could beat a Tyrion. This is always a good check. Like, whenever you play against a Paladin, just ask yourself, what would happen if you played Tyrion? And if the answer is, I still win, then you're in pretty good shape. He's got a Blessing of Kings, that recruits. That's not really a big deal. He's going to give it Taunt. Okay, that's hilarious. And play Secret. Okay. Well, the Secret... Oh, but this Secret situation is actually tricky because I need to probably figure one of them is Noble Sacrifice. Wow, Mass Dispel. Yeah, that's pretty good. Draws me 2 cards off the Auctioneer and itself. Clears off that thing. Oh my god, I forgot about... Oh, jeez, I forgot about the Pyromancer. Okay, so I cannot play Power Word Shield because then I would end up triggering the Pyromancer again, so I don't really want to do that. We need to flush out that Noble Sacrifice, though. Let's use the Lightspawn. Okay, there's the Noble Sacrifice. Get down, get down, get down. Get down tonight. Let's try a Cleric. Heal up the Lightspawn. Oh, Repentance, okay. Don't really care too much about that. The Leper Gnome. Nice. Okay, we will... Well, let's check to see if the Knife Juggler kills this. It does have a 50-50 chance. It does actually kill it. Well, it doesn't... Like, that's lucky, but it doesn't matter. I was going to be fine regardless. Okay, so that is that. You know, maybe I should have just done Temple Enforcer on this and tried to kill him this turn? That might have been smarter. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's fine. We got the kill here. It was a little bit protracted, but that was solid. That was super, super solid. So it was a good start, but the Paladin didn't really have a very good deck. He sort of passed a lot. And he did kind of hang in there, but it was like always by a thread. And he was on the back foot the entire game. So, feel pretty good about that win. Again, I just still don't think this deck's actually good, but the Auctioneer surviving when my opponent didn't have a True Silver Champion was really huge. Alright, so we got our next worthy opponent is Warrior. Do like being a priest against warriors, because if they don't get their weapons, which granted is a big if a warrior doesn't get his weapons, your hero ability is strictly better than his for the most part. There is one case where the warrior's hero ability is better, and that is the fact that the warrior's hero ability can be used to heal him above 30. But once both players have taken damage, the priest's ability is strictly better, because you can heal yourself or your minions. Your warrior opponent only heals himself. So unless the warrior's getting card advantage through weapons, you're in really good shape. So Shadowform, early on, I'm not that thrilled by. You usually don't want to play it early, because Lesser Heal is good. I've talked about this before, but let's just remember this, folks. Lesser Heal is a really good hero power. Now, Mind Spike, which is what this Shadowform makes her hero power, is better. But Lesser Heal is still good, and sometimes losing the ability to heal can actually be really frustrating. So the fact that you have to spend 3 mana and a card, and give up your hero ability, can be a big bit of a pain. What my opponent is thinking here, he's got a card highlighted. He didn't spend full time on the mulligan, so I know he's there. Probably deciding whether it's worth it to coin a play on turn 1. Bams, the warrior. Okay, he's moving his mouse. There's the coin. Is he gonna make it? Oh my god. He decides after all that thinking not to make it. I actually got my Pyromancer Acolyte of Pain combo, but of course it's not super likely to happen. I mean, the Pyromancer would need to not die, and then the Acolyte would need to not die, and then I'd need to play a spell on turn 4. Anyway, there's a Fiery War Axe. Yippity-doo. The question here, I mean, there's a very difficult moment here. What do you play? I mean, you could play Shadowform with the logic that, you know, while there's a quiet moment in this game, take the opportunity to upgrade your hero power. You could play this guy, thinking that if he kills it with the Fiery War Axe, you still have a 1/1 on the field, or you can play the Acolyte, so that if he kills it with the Fiery War Axe, you get a card. Well, I don't think that is as good as keeping a 1/1 on the board, honestly. At this point, I'd rather have the 1/1 than a card. But Shadowform could be good. Well, let's do it for education, folks. I'm actually going to cast Shadowform here. So we'll see. You'll see how this goes. If the opponent manages to play minions that are big enough to survive Mind Spike, then that actually will hurt me. But I think the reason why I did it there, when normally I would not make that play, I normally would almost never play Shadowform on turn 3, unless there's nothing else for me to do. It's because whatever minion I played, it was going to die. The Acolyte just dies totally. This keeps a 1/1 on the field, but that's not very much. So it's because he has this Fiery War Axe. Frickin' turn 2 Fiery War Axe. It's just the most annoying thing. Well, anyway, he doesn't have anything to do. So that's pretty cool. And here, Northshire Cleric has lost a lot of value because I can't heal my own minions. But I will play the Hunter. And actually, I'm just going to play Northshire Cleric. There is some synergy in the deck with Northshire Cleric. I've got the Darkscale Healer and Holy Nova. But I don't actually mind if he uses the Fiery War Axe to kill this. Because while it does put him ahead a card, he, you know, killed 2 cards with 1 Fiery War Axe. I can potentially gain card advantage through Mind Spike and through Shadow Madness. Both of those are conditional. This is conditional on something having only 2 health. This is conditional on something having only 3 attack, and there being another minion that it can kill, but that's actually fine by me. I'm willing to throw away and get this Fire War Axe out of here and keep a 2/3 on the board. He's actually going to go ahead and kill the Northshire Cleric. Such a respected card, he'll kill it, even though I don't actually have the ability to heal my minions anymore. Loot Hoarder, okay, that's fine. So I'll kill it with Mind Spike. Does he have another card to play? Does he have another card to play? He has an upgrade. Ah, that's annoying. Now, he's already attacked this turn. So, ordinarily I would kill this Loot Hoarder with Mind Spike, but now I know he's got this heavy axe, so he'll just kill my Piglet. So I could just throw the Piglet away. Yeah, that's silly. Let's just go ahead and do the Acolyte, Mind Spike. If he wants to kill the Piglet with the heavy axe, you know, go ahead and kill it. That's fine. I mean, Mind Spiking his face, it really ends up being the same amount of damage, honestly. Mind Spiking his face would have dealt 2, but the Piglet deals 2 anyway, because it hit him once and then he hits the Piglet. So yeah, it's the same. But yeah, I'm kind of annoyed that he had this, because the Piglet would have been really nice fodder for the Dark Iron Dwarf.
What now?
Well, he's got a lot of cards here. He's got tons of cards, actually. He's going to kill the Acolyte. Does he have a way of healing this thing so that it doesn't die to Mind Spike? I don't think he does. My mana is working out extremely well this game, I have to say. I keep having just the right amount of mana to do what I need to do. Alright, so he's got... I mean, he's still doing fine. He's got 8 cards and a weapon to my 6 cards, soon to be 7. Now, I am the first player, so it makes sense I'd be down. But the reason I'm down is because I Mind Spiked, or I Shadowformed, which did put me down a card, plus he's been killing stuff with his weapons. But I think I'm alright. Hilariously, I could actually, if this thing lives, which it may not, Divine Spirit... Oh, he's gonna kill it. Oh no, he's doing this. Interesting. Ah, I see. So he wanted to kill it with the axe. I see. Alright, well, do you put Divine Spirit, making this a 10-10? Boy. You know... Let's see, if I Holy Smite, that's only 4 damage. I could actually Shadow Madness this thing and Divine Spirit my guy, and then swing for 13. But I'm going to do my favorite thing in the world, which is hedge my bets. I'm just going to play Stormwind Champion and kill this engine this way. So what I'm doing here is I'm putting a 6-6 on the board, and I'm still killing this engine. I think putting Divine Spirit on this and killing this engine, and then leaving myself with a 7-7 is not as good as having a 3-3 and a 6-6. One cool thing, if this lives, which it might, because last turn he couldn't even kill the 5-5, so he's probably going to leave the 6-6 alone. If I Shadow Madness something, it'll actually grow in power. And I can grow it again. The problem is he doesn't actually have any minions on the board, so it's not that likely I'm going to get to Shadow Madness for any great effect. But it is worth remembering that Shadow Madness will pump up the minion. And I need to start considering the possibility of actually killing him, because if this stuff is alive, I mean, I do have 9 damage here, he's got 11 health. And I've got Shadow Madness for more damage. This will deal essentially 3 damage by doubling the light spawn. So it's 3 damage, 5 damage, another 3 damage, 8. I've got like kind of 10 damage here in my back pocket. Actually 12 if you count the Dark Iron Dwarf, although I won't have enough mana for all that at once. He is a warrior, so if I Mind Spike his face, he can armor up to cancel it, so I can't burn him out with Mind Spike, but I do have a board advantage here. That's pretty significant. Well, he's got 8 cards. A warrior with 8 cards could kill both of these minions. I mean, 2 executes and a slam will do it. He's just going to play a Stormwind Champion. Okay. Well, I cannot steal that with Shadow Madness. Oh, geez, did he really just do that? Well, I don't think that was a good move at all. Let's see. So I can... This only now essentially gives me 2 damage, so it's the same as a Dark Iron Dwarf. Okay. So this is 2 damage, plus 4... Or, sorry, 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6, 2, 4, 6, 7. I don't have enough mana to Mind Spike this turn as well. So 2, 4, 6 is what I can do. 6 plus 8 is 14 damage. I can't quite kill him, unfortunately. I'd love to kill this Stormwind Champion. And I think I will, actually. So let's go ahead and do it like this. I'm gonna Divine Spirit there. Run into the Stormwind Champion. Mind Spike. Dark Iron Dwarf. Swing. Hit for 8. Pass the turn. So he keeps showing an inability to kill my minions. Apparently he does not have executes or slams, or one or the other. And now he's threatened with grave death. Keep in mind I can also steal one of his own minions and deal some bonus damage there. This, assuming I steal a 3 damage minion and he doesn't have a taunt, this is 3 damage now that my Stormwind Champion's been silenced. Plus another 2 is 5, plus another 2 is 7 damage. I really only need to get 2 damage through, so basically only one of my minions has to attack in order for me to kill BAMS, the warrior, on my next turn. Okay, well I would say there, Shadowform on turn 3 turned out very well, but only because my opponent didn't have anything on the board. He, like, basically passed on turn 3. He just armored up on turn 3, and that was really huge, because then I was able to get away with it. But had he been able to put pressure on turn 3, like play some kind of a 3-3 that Mind Spike wouldn't have been able to kill, I would have fallen behind and potentially lost. Because he was ahead on cards the whole game. I mean, he's still ahead on cards, interestingly enough. if you look, he does have 8 cards to my 5. Like, that's a pretty substantial card disadvantage. He just seems to have the wrong cards or something. He could never kill anything I played in an effective fashion. So had he had a play on turn 3, or had he just been able to kill my stuff, he would have been fine this game. He's gonna play upgrade number 2. Well, that's okay. So now he's guaranteed to die. And unless he hits me in the face as a measure of final defiance, this is a flawless victory here. All right, now I could be. Oh, never mind. He's gonna concede. So flawless victory, and we move along. Destroy them all. Alright, thanks for watching, folks. Please like and or subscribe if you enjoyed this video. If you're wondering why it's ending, it's because I only ever play 2 games in the first video. And I'll show you the rest of the games in an upcoming video. I'll see you in just a bit.